Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakha Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I'm sure you might have seen or heard at this point by now that the crypto markets are surging. They're going crazy, and especially you saw Bitcoin boost up a lot after the election, and then as of now, you're seeing Ripple and Hedera or HBAR boost up massively with DJ Trump coming into office. And they're saying it's because of that, because there'll be a more crypto-friendly environment for these type of markets, but it's really because the dollar is about to collapse, and the elites want to switch over from the currency that we currently have to a digital currency. For years, we've been hearing about the central banking digital currency, the CBDG, and this could be the time at which they'd like to switch. And they've got to get rid of this old system first before switching to the new one. And you also see things like BRICS forming, which will eventually kill the dollar. And just to go into it, I've got this article here from Zero Hedge. It says the looming debt crisis. Is America following the path of collapsed empires? And yeah, because empires, Apostle Tahar was going into, empires last 250 years, give or take. And America is right there on that line. And with the currency, since we're speaking of that, fiat currency usually doesn't go past 35 years or so. And we've been off the gold standard and the silver standard for quite some time now. So they're in overtime with this dollar. But going back to this article, it says debt can topple even the most powerful empires. Whether it's Rome, Spain, France, Britain, or the Soviet Union, excessive debt has played a critical role in their decline. And I'm seeing a lot of Edomite empires right there. It says the typical pattern in these examples of collapsing empires is stage 1. Empires achieve success and become overconfident. Stage 2. Overconfidence leads to extravagant spending on luxuries and wars. Stage number 3. Empires finance this lavish spending by going into debt. Stage 4. If the debt grows to an unsustainable level and creates a crushing burden. Stage 5. Empires finance the debt through taxation and currency debasement. Stage 6. The populace bears the brunt of debt repayment as empires raise taxes and debase the currency to the maximum extent until it causes internal instability. Stage 7. Empires cannot finance their militaries because of their debt burden. This is usually the tipping point. Stage 8. Underfunded militaries plus internal instability makes empires vulnerable to foreign invasion, domestic revolution, civil war, and other existential dangers. And all of those things will be coming to Babylon the Great. And then stage 9, the empire collapses, and Babylon the Great being the US of A. And so it says now it's the US empire's turn. The US federal government has the biggest debt in the history of the world, and it's continuing to grow at a rapid, unstoppable pace. Annualized interest on the federal debt exceeded $1 trillion for the first time this year and is shooting higher at an exponential rate. Federal debt's annualized interest cost is already higher than the defense budget. which the U.S.'s defense budget it's incredible. It's way more than most of the other countries combined. It's on a track to exceed Social Security and become the biggest item in the federal budget. And it's showing some of the U.S. federal expenditures here. You see security on the far left there. But yeah, with the formation of BRICS and Saudi Arabia also pulling back on the petrodollar, the dollar is in trouble. And there's so much debt as well that what are you going to do with that? Are you going to pay it all off? Or are you just going to switch to something different like this CBDG? And so I've got another article here. And this is from cryptonewsflash.com. It's just some crypto site, but the information here is interesting. And this came out November 25th of this year, so pretty recent. But it says Federal Reserve turns to Hedera, which people know that as HBAR, and XRP to scale RLUSD payment solutions. And so the Fed is turning to these cryptos for help. And there's been for years when Bitcoin came out, they said it was this Satoshi Nakamoto who came up with it and nobody's ever seen or heard from him. And that was interesting for a while, but then it started to come out that this is possibly a creation, these cryptos are a creation, and blockchain as well, creation of the CIA. And so this seems like something that they've had planned all along. And if you remember a few years ago, there was a federal payment system, FedNow, and they were going to be using Ripple for that, or XRP for that. Didn't seem to go anywhere, but recently there's been a lot of movement with these two cryptos, with HBAR and XRP. But getting back to this article, it says a potential alliance between Hedera and Ripple may revolutionize digital payments, integrating HBAR and RLUSD for cross-blockchain transactions. RLUSD aims to address inefficiencies in traditional financial systems, promising faster, transparent transactions with blockchain technology. And so, supposedly also, XRP supposedly came out before Bitcoin, but Bitcoin was the one that we all heard about and people invested in, and it got people generally excited a few years ago when it broke the $20,000 mark. And then recently it's gotten almost to the $100,000 mark. But supposedly Ripple or XRP came out before that, which helps you see that they'd always planned to put Bitcoin out there as kind of something to get people's interest, but eventually replace it with something like XRP or HBAR for transactions, because the Bitcoin blockchain network is not nearly as fast. Sometimes large transactions take a while, but they're coming into a digital age and they want everything to be fast and movable. But yeah, they want to kill this system first and replace it with something like these cryptos. And ultimately, with that CBDG network, they want to also implant an RFID CHIP, or what's known as the MOTB. All these things go together. And so this movement within the market, within the crypto market, is just more steps closer to the MOTB, because that's their eventual goal. And their goal ultimately is to get their blessing back, but it's not theirs to have. And that's why they're creating their NWO and it's all these new things that are on the horizon. But this is their end, and there's nothing that they can do to stay in power. They are coming out of power. They will be removed from power. And Yahweh Shai is going to do it. And he's also putting, as you could say, a wrench into a lot of their plans that are not going as smooth now, and people are seeing it and calling it out. But getting back into this, just going to read a little bit of it. It says a potential alliance between Hedera and Ripple may revolutionize digital payments, marking a pivotal shift in the fintech financial technology sector. John Oracle, a WEF member, has unveiled a potential integration that promises to reshape how we understand cryptocurrency transactions and stablecoin implementations. The emerging collaboration centers on an innovative approach to integrating Hedera's native cryptocurrency, HBAR, with Ripple's emerging stablecoin, RLUSD. This strategic move represents more than just a technological partnership. It's a potential watershed moment for blockchain power financial solutions that could transcend traditional payment infrastructures. And this is really just a way for Esau to have an eye on every single market transaction that is going on, whether it be legal or illegal. He wants everything to be on this digital system because with the blockchain you see everything through the ledger. They've always pushed it as being extremely private, but you can see and there's marking for all of the transactions. It's not that I can see it, but they will be able to see it because they've got that God complex of theirs to where they want to be like the Most High, but they're just men. And they're about to die like men, too. It says at the heart of this transformation lies the Federal Reserve's FedNow payment system, which launched in 2023 as a real-time payment platform designed to revolutionize money transfers across the United States. Hedera's previous integration via Drop, a micropayment platform, already established a foundational relationship with this cutting-edge payment ecosystem. And we're going to stop there, but you can see they want to get out of the dollar and move it into this digital age, and with that comes the MOTB, and that's what we're looking at prophetically. So let's get to the scriptures. This is James 5 and verse 1. It says, go to now, you rich men. You can think of starting with your elite, but even on down to these smaller investors who are making a lot of money off this crypto. They're getting really excited about this, but it's all about to crash. It says, go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you, because this transition is not going to go as smoothly as they think it's going to go. First off, the dollar's going to crash, so that's going to wreck a lot of so-called rich men and people within this world. And then people are putting their hopes into cryptocurrencies, and eventually that's going to come to naught as well. And with those stable coins that they're trying to develop with it, it's going to make the markets a lot less chaotic, or basically the charts move up and down. The value can drop or raise pretty quickly, and so they're trying to make it a lot more stable with those stable coins. But this is all going to, the people that are investing are probably not going to bring out as much as they want to. And I will say, if you're a brother and you're investing, I don't see anything wrong with that. Just be careful, and don't put your trust into this, because it's all eventually going to come crashing down. But use the world and don't abuse it, as it says. But these things are just the economy is going to crash, and it's spoken of within the scriptures. This is James 5 and verse 2. Your riches are corrupted, because we've been on this fractional reserve banking system, and then onto this with the fiat currency, so fake money, and moving on to this digital currency, which is more fake money that can be controlled by the elite of Edom, who created this whole thing. It says, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten, tattered. It says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Because really, it doesn't matter if you have the big idea of it. This is a transition of worlds. The elite think they're transitioning from this old world way of doing things to this NWO that they have in mind, but it's really Yahweh is transitioning from this world, which is Esau's world, into the next world, which is his world, Jacob's world, or Yahweh's world, and Jacob's world. Yahweh first, because he will be sitting on that throne of David. But they've heaped up treasure for the end of Esau's world. Nothing with Esau's world gets into the new world, so there's no reason to really have it, except for a hedge until we get into the new world. But these rich men, mostly being Edomites, because of the other nations, they're taking part in this too, but to the Edomites, they're really not going to need this in the next world that's coming, and there's nothing they can do to get out of their judgment. They really believe they can get out of their judgment. These are the last days. And as it says, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. But they're doing all this in hopes of giving the people that digital all. But those of the elect shall not be deceived. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And this is something they've had planned for a very long time. This is what they want to do. And we're watching the economic system turn over into a world that can use that mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, into this CBDC environment, and they want to use XRP and Hedera to do that. And it says, "And that no man might buy or sell," and those are the tools or the currency that they want to use, and they want to have you have this thing within you to actually use that. And if it's digital, you can see where, you might need something like that MOTB, or the digital C-HIP. It says, "Save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." And this is what they ultimately want to bring. This is this MARK. And this is what we as the hopeful elect are really looking forward to, because it's this prophecy this actually being made mandatory is the time in which World War III will really get kicked up, and all these plagues are really going to start coming onto the world. And then we can start looking up, because our salvation will be nigh, because Yahweh will be returning soon. And so these build-ups, or the movement within the crypto market, is a good sign to show us that we're a few more steps closer to the MOTB coming out. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Urkach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.